Hit that nigga freeze up, man. We need to, give some clarity and show charity at the same time, man, because there's a lot of people that think they know things, and after listening to them, man, clearly they don't. So it's only right that you listen to people that know what the hell they talking about. Give me a second, hold on. What's going on? Hold on, let me turn it up some more. All right, I'm on the phone right now, man, with no other than the great, you understand me, Freeze is it, man. You know what I mean? And hold on, let me put this phone close. Matter of fact, bro, you're gonna have to. It'd actually probably be better, huh?
Yeah, it might be. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Give him just a second.
Hear me better now?
Yeah, I hear you way better, but due to the fact that I want them to hear every word that you're saying, I'm gonna keep this phone by my other phone right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, but can you hear me from this distance?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. I just lay the phone right here then. Well, just getting right into it, man. You know what I mean? No cutting corners and things, you know what I'm saying? I just want to ask you, what do you think about snitches?
Snitches in general?
Yeah, just snitches in general. Like, what is your feelings towards snitches?
Well, first of all, one thing that has to be understood about snitching, what classifies someone as a snitch, is someone who leads a certain lifestyle and goes contrary to the rules of that lifestyle. People that live in the streets and abide by the street code,
right,
understand, that's basically an honor amongst thieves, so to speak, or honor amongst street people, period, in general.
Right.
So when you live in that lifestyle, you subject to the rules of that lifestyle. So it's just an unwritten rule that's commonly known amongst everybody that, we don't snitch. Now, so for someone to be a snitch, in my eyes, that's synonymous with being a coward.
Right. Right. Right.
So, and I have no respect for a coward, so.
Now, one thing that must be understood, like I always say, to avoid a misunderstanding is to always have an outstanding understanding. So,
right.
To give an outstanding understanding, if you was to give a definition of what snitching is, what would it be?
My definition of what snitching is?
Yeah. Because and the reason why I asked that is because you have a lot of new definitions that's coming into play, and logically that's not snitching. Somebody said, the other day they repeated something that YG said, whenever any of these rappers or actors say something, people take it as thus saith the Lord. But
right.
He said that if you even basically told who snitched on you, you snitching. And not only do I totally disagree with that, but that is not snitching.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a foolish outlook to have, because like you and I, how we fuck with each other. Let's say you in Vegas and I'm in Chicago, and you hit my line and you like, yeah, P, I'm out campaigning with, such and such to P. And I have knowledge of, and I've seen paperwork and facts. I've seen proof that such and such to P is in somebody's paperwork and that they cooperated with law enforcement against this individual who's currently locked up doing time.
Right.
I mean, so basically that person that you riding with right now in Vegas while I'm in Chicago, they're responsible for somebody that's living the same lifestyle that we live, being behind bars.
Right.
I mean, according to what you saying, YG said, if I was to inform you about that, that would make me a snitch.
Right, right.
But see, what got to be understood is, especially the way you and I fuck with each other, but even beyond that, just people who live the same lifestyle that we live, we have a common courtesy amongst each other, and it's really a responsibility that we have to one another, and it's a loyalty thing.
Right.
So it would be really disloyal of me to not inform you of that.
Right.
To let you carry on and take that gamble riding around with that dude who could potentially do the same thing to you that he did to the other cat that's currently down right now.
Exactly. And see, it's like if I catch a case and you had information about this particular person that I was around, and you don't call me and say, hey, the guy that you fellowshipping with, the guy that you campaigning with, hey man, you know what I'm saying, that nigga ain't right, saying he did such and such. Now, because I know your character is equivalent to mine, I'm not even going to second guess it. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt, you're not going to tell me that a nigga is snitching. You know what I mean? Because some of these cats will actually tell you that a bitch is snitching or a nigga is snitching simply because they're endeavoring to be territorial. They don't even want you to have any dealings with that bitch or that nigga. So to keep you from basically having that bitch or fellowshipping with that nigga, people will sit up there and tell you that this person is snitching, and that's completely contrary to the truth. You know what I'm saying?
That's a situation where, unfortunately it's real common right now, but a lot of people take advantage of the street code and misuse it to their own advantage. Know what I mean? And it's fucked up for people like us who really stick to it and live by it. Because I'm not gonna lie on my worst enemy. Right. You know what I mean? It could be somebody that tried to kill me or something. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to somebody that might be riding with them and say, oh, that nigga's a snitch. Right. Or that nigga did this. Right. And I ain't seen no paperwork, or I don't even have any reason to believe that. It's just, I don't like that motherfucker, so I'm gonna put the snitch jacket on him. And I know because you a street nigga, you ain't gonna fuck with him if you think he a snitch. Right. So I'm just gonna throw that jacket on him for the sake of you not fucking with him or putting him in a bad light and have another motherfucker probably trying to gun at him or whatever the case may be. Right. Like, that's some coward shit. And on the real, that's some shit that a snitch would do in my eyes. You know what I mean? Right. See, when I think of snitch, I just think of now let me say this before I even say this. I don't hold squares to rules that people that are participating in accumulating in lifestyles of the streets. Like people that are outside of the street life, I don't hold them to the same accountability as I hold the people who participate in lifestyles of the streets. And what I mean by that is, if I see a square, a person that is non-affiliated, a person that is not participating in any lifestyles or activities in the street, I expect them to tell. I expect them to snitch. I expect them to give the information of whatever the police are desiring that they're asking for. I expect this individual to do that because this person is not a street person. They're not playing the rules of the street. They're not in the street. So by them not being in the street, I don't hold them at the same accountability as I would hold you or another individual that's from the streets and in the streets. Right, exactly. Like you're saying, like somebody who ain't been convicted of so much as a jaywalking ticket. You know what I mean? That's like the worst thing that they have on their record. Right. If somebody breaks into their house. Right. You know what I mean? And they 9 to 5 working square. They've been on this job for 10, 15 years. They ain't never been in trouble. Ain't never even been not even never been in trouble. Whether or not they've been in trouble, they haven't lived that life. Right. You know what I mean? They've been living a square life. They've been working this 9 to 5. They haven't gotten their hands dirty in the streets. Right. I can't expect them to have the same accountability to the street code that I do. No. You know what I mean? Because I'm over here in the streets doing this, doing that. Now, so if somebody break into that person's house and they call the police or whatever, I can't be mad at them. You know what I mean? Like, even though Like me, I just don't agree with calling the police, period. But I
Right.
can understand a square who's not in the streets doing it.
Now let me ask you something. We both already know the answer, but because I'm endeavoring to convey a message to the unlearned,
Right.
is there any justification for snitching?
No.
All right. Now,
No, of course not.
now, would you consider me to be your friend?
Absolutely, more than a friend, but yeah, more like a brother, but yeah, definitely a friend for sure.
Okay. Now, I'm not talking about that stuff that make up false documentation, you know what I'm saying, that come from them people that never was a representation in the streets, that, you know, all that false shit, you know, on the internet that people been taking their information from. I'm talking about that real shit, that irrefutable, incontestable evidence that's showing you that a person is snitching. And if somebody was to provide you information that I was telling on somebody, would I still be your brother? Would I still be your friend?
Nah, I mean, if I see some like irrefutable proof and I'm able to go and verify that, you know what I mean? I'm able to go somewhere and verify, okay, this is actual and factual. You know what I mean? And then I confront you about it, and you might even keep it 100 and say, yeah, you know what, I did that. Like, as tight as we are, much we done been through, I just ain't gonna be able to fuck with you because I'm still living this life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I one day get saved and become a born again Christian or something like that, I might be able to meet you on that side. But while I'm out here in the streets doing what I'm doing,
right,
you know, much love as I got for you, I can't fuck with you.
Now, if I was to find out any information pertaining to you telling, pertaining to you doing some snitching, do you believe that I would still be your friend, still be your brother?
Nah.
Right.
Nah. I mean, you know, we know what we signed up for.
Right.
This ain't some shit that you learn like 5-10 years down the line. I mean, when you get involved in this is what you understand.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So and for the record, you seen how I've cut off so-called associates and friends and family members instantly. So
oh yeah.
If I found out any information concerning basically any of my friends or partners that I fuck with about some snitching, you already know immediately they cut off. Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now notice I said irrefutable information that's showing that a person is snitching.
Exactly.
Irrefutable information. Not that bullshit, not some faggot, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker that ain't never been nobody out here in these streets that know how to sit up there and Photoshop and, you know, take words and edit this and put this here and put that up here and chop up tapes and shit like that. I'm not talking about these keyboard the P ass niggas. I'm talking about motherfuckers that's out here in these streets that once upon a time had credibility and they have backslid and subsided and backslided, you understand me, from these streets. That's what I'm talking about. You understand me?
Exactly. And it's sad, you know, that speaking of them type of cats, you know what I mean? Like, them type of people, they not really as clever as people perceive them to be. You know what I mean? All it takes is a real keen mind and eye to catch certain shit.
Right.
You know, and what them people realize is like, okay, these are street people. You know what I mean? And the last thing they want to hear on certain people is that this person is a snitch or that person is a snitch. And as soon as they do, a lot of times people don't even question the source.
Right.
They don't question anything. They don't question the facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't take time to prove anything. Like me, you know, that's just the way I've always been. I never take shit at face value.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it's somebody that I fuck with and I know they might be sincere in what they saying. What they saying, they might not even prove what they saying. Right. They might come to me and say, yeah, man, you seen on Whoopty Wop such and such telling. And they might sincerely believe that. They might be telling me what in their mind is the truth.
Right.
But they might not have investigated. They might not have dug into the situation to find out how true it is or not. Now,
right.
Me, on the other hand, before I go tell my partners or people in the street or whoever, hey, you know, such and such telling, like, I'm going to verify it. I'm going to make sure it's 100.
Right. See,
you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't want to be.
And see, that's what I like, you know, right there. is the fact that you would actually do your research before, as I like to say, getting into some evangelism with the criticism on somebody else's name without actually having irrefutable proof to show that this is actually like, man, this, like, without a shadow of a doubt, this motherfucker is snitching. And what I'm upset about is a lot of these guys profess to be pimps, but they are feeble-minded. You know what I'm saying? They are very feeble-minded. Like a lot of these guys that's professing to be pimps, you can manipulate them as easy as a 2 or 3-year-old.
Yeah, it's sad. Not only are they feeble-minded, but they feminine-hearted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of cats are, you know, it's sad to say, but they dictated by their emotions like a lot of these females.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it might be somebody that they envious of, that a
Right.
rumor gets started about. You know what I mean? Or somebody that they dislike. Somebody might have knocked them for their baby mama or some shit like that, or whatever
Right.
the case may be. Or the bitch that they always had a crush on. You know what I mean?
It's funny. It's funny you should say that, because you know, it's just one little girl, right? You know what I'm saying? By the name of Keisha, and you know, this little girl, man. You know, she used to really hang around some years ago, man. You know what I mean? The reason why I call her, it's really a dude, but I call her a little girl because this nigga carry himself like a little girl. So, you know, if you're going to carry yourself like a little girl, that's how I treat her. That's how I talk about her. I don't talk about her like she's a man or a male. You know what I mean? That's a bride. You know what I mean? Because any guy that puts all his attention, all his focus on other men, you know what I'm saying, he got some tendencies that's contrary to masculinity, you know.
Right.
So I'm going to treat him as such. He wants to be a woman because that's what women do. Women think about men. You know what I'm saying? They turned on by men. They get bitter at men. You know what I'm saying? They whether it's hatred or love, men are fluently coming out and going out of a woman's mouth. So, you know, I treat this motherfucker accordingly, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just funny how he was rejected by authentic people, authentic participants of the lifestyle. And ever since he's been rejected, man, Keisha been on one. You know what I'm saying? Keisha has really been on one. You know what I'm saying? And she prints up false. I remember one time, matter of fact, Keisha sat up there and had somebody drive through Long Beach acting like she was going through your hood. I remember that.
Right. Yeah, I remember that too. You know what I mean? What it was, you know what I mean? Like you said, Keisha was rejected. You know, she had a very strong admiration for the gentleman in the game. And then, see, the problem with Keisha is she showed her true colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when she showed her true colors, and people saw her for who she was, that's when they rejected her. See, initially, when Keisha first started coming around the game, she was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People was fucking with her. But one situation had her show her true colors, show who she really was, then that's when people stopped fucking with her.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just sad, man, the way she be carrying on, even still to this day, man. What she don't understand is it's just contrary to manhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like me, even Keisha, like how you said, she made them lies about me. Had pretending like she was riding through Long Beach, through my neighborhood, saying I can't go back to my neighborhood, and niggas have shot up my mama's house and some more shit, which is all false.
Right.
Like, even though she did that to me, and I don't care anything for her, she's not even powerful enough. See, this is where the integrity come in. I mean, this is when you have a wealth of integrity in your integrity account. I mean, it allows you to move like this. Keisha's not powerful enough to influence me to make up lies on her.
No.
I mean, even though she done did the same thing to me.
No.
More than once.
No.
Know what I mean? And she doing the same thing that all these other gentlemen in the game.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Who ain't even thinking about her.
Yeah.
It's really a cry for attention.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? But what I'm saying is she's not powerful enough. There's nothing within her power that she can do to make me lie on her, say shit about her that's not true. I'll keep 100 and say what I don't like about her, but I'm not gonna make shit up. I'm not gonna be like, you know what, I don't like Keisha. I want everybody else in the game to dislike her as well. No, I'm gonna go make up some fake paperwork and have it look like Keisha is snitching and got motherfuckers locked up, so that everybody else don't like her too.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do that.
No, because you got character.
Yeah, you know, like I say, it's contrary to manhood, and it's contrary to integrity. You know what I mean? And it's just some real coward shit. Especially when you the same type of motherfucker who ain't gonna show your face.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're not gonna come and face, see, you could get on the internet and pretend like you want to face these people.
Right.
But in real life, it's been years and you still have never faced anybody. You know what I mean? Nobody has seen your face. So
and then and that's so weird because I thought to myself, because one of the, I'm not even gonna say his name, he was like the little rapper dude who really, you know, I don't really think nothing of his lyrics, but the little rapper guy, they say, yeah, he be in the streets, he do this and he do that, you know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact that he's never seen his so-called manager, because this is something that he conveyed, you know what I'm saying, to Rollo, you know what I'm saying, in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm already
I know for a fact, you understand me, that this nigga has never seen him. And I mean, as a man, like, that don't bother you that you talking to this individual, you laughing with y'all laughing and kikiing and all of this shit, you know what I'm saying, but you never even seen this dude. You know what I'm saying? I will admit, you know what I'm saying, he don't look like me. You know what I mean? He's not a handsome motherfucker. You know, but at the same particular time, you know, you ain't that motherfucking hideous nigga where you can't show your motherfucking face. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, that nigga don't show his face. He's ashamed of himself. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but it's all good though, because speaking of Rollo, like he say, man, when I see Keisha, man, I just let her do her thing.
Yeah.
It's karma come around like a boomerang. When it hits you in the head, I'ma still be in the streets, bitch.
Get my bread. Yeah.
Nah, man, that's really what it is. That's what she don't understand. I mean, it's gonna catch up to you. It's no way possible that you can do all this foul shit, make up all these lies on these people just because you got your feelings hurt. You know what I mean? Just because you can't take rejection, you making up all these lies and it's just no consequence. That's
right.
It can't. It don't. Life don't work like that.
No.
You know what I mean? No. Just because you think you safe in your little corner and don't nobody know where you at, or most people don't know where you at, or the people who do know where you at, they not serious enough or concerned enough to take the time to go see about you, or whatever the case is, you think ain't nobody gonna see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I'm
over here, they can't get to me, so let me do all this punk shit. Like,
and see,
I mean,
my thing,
you're gonna have the answer to that one day.
And see, my thing with these niggas is, you know, like, when you gonna stop the femininity? And what I mean by that is, like, for example, okay, years ago, Maroy and Sending Ken, I don't even like calling him Pimpin' Ken, but Sending Ken, or whatever y'all want to call dude, I just call him Ken. You know, Mr. Professor Ken. He calling himself Professor Ken now.
Right.
You know, him and Maroy was together, you know what I mean, campaigning like me and you. You know what I'm saying? Or,
right.
You know, say nigga Indian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, real tight. And all of a sudden, y'all get into it. And now all of a sudden, you know, Ken is calling Maroy a homosexual now. And I thought to myself, well, shit, if he was a motherfucking homosexual, you know what I'm saying, then why your motherfucking ass, you know what I'm saying, was campaigning with him? Why was you going cross country with him? I'm not going cross country with no homosexual. I'm not gonna be in the same hotel. I'm not gonna be in the same hotel room with no homosexual. That's just me. So why all of a sudden now, you know what I'm saying, when y'all get into an argument, he's a homosexual, he's a snitch, he's a mark-ass nigga. So you mean to tell me that it took this big-ass argument for you to come to a revelation just because y'all had a confrontation? Now you conveying information on social media about this man being a homosexual? Why he wasn't a homo? Why he wasn't sucking dick and taking it up the ass when y'all was going cross-country selling books and tapes and shit? Why not?
Right, and then like you say, you know what I mean? It's it's just contrary to manhood, man. It's just feminine, man.
If me and you get into it, do you think I'ma run the social media?
Nah. See, we real men. See, and that's what a lot of cats lose sight of. You know what I mean? The common denominator of any man is good in any, or commendable, or, you know, respected in any walk of life, is his manhood. I mean, you gotta have your manhood in order, you know. And when you do shit like that, it's just bitch shit. That shit bitches do. I mean, real men, like it's and you already know it's certain P's that I was once tight with that I don't fuck with anymore. You know what I mean? That I don't care for. You know, they can't call me and ask me for nothing. I'm not thinking about them. Whatever the case may be, it's just motherfuckers that I done completely severed ties with.
Right.
I can still say some good shit about them.
Right.
But it's just certain shit about them that I can't deal with that makes me not fuck with them. But
right.
I'm not gonna lie on them and just say I ain't got nothing good to say about them, or, you know, exaggerate the truth about them. You know what I mean? That the foul shit that they might have about them, I'm gonna exaggerate that and twist it and manipulate it into something bigger and worse than what it actually is. That don't do nothing for me. That don't benefit me in no type of way.
Right. That's not your character.
Right. And plus, beyond any benefit or not, I just don't like misleading people and lying on people.
Right. Right. I mean, that don't
do nothing for me.
Because you don't like being lied on either.
Exactly.
Right. So it's nothing really that a person can say to me, you know, or do that's going to make me make up false documentation. That's going to make me say things and do things and focus on ruining their representation, their whole reputation in the streets. It's just nothing that a person is just not that powerful for me, you know. Right. So, you know, I just, and even in that, okay, moving on to another situation. Just 2 seconds ago, we saw 3 guys being laughing hyenas. They were just laughing together. They was socializing together. They was associating themselves together. They was fellowshipping on the phone together. And now, because of a misunderstanding, now all of a sudden, one of the 3, he's a snitch. He's being put out there to basically just
be a snitch.
Yeah,
according to them, he's been a snitch all this time. But.
Right. So my thing is this: if Pimpin was a snitch since basically Jesus was crucified since the 90s, and you had knowledge of this, then why was you associating, affiliating, and communicating with a snitch?
Right,
you understand me? Because what you associate with, that's the fuck you agree with. So me, I don't associate with snitches. And unlike because it was a statement that Pimpin had made that I totally disagree with. Now, you know what I mean, the woman that he's talking to, going back and forth with, you know, she's a buster. But at the same particular time, you know, Ken made a...
Talking about Keisha, right?
Yeah, Keisha. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, Keisha from She Got Jokes. Now, what's that other shit? She's Alert. So, you know, Fag Alert. So, you know, with that being said, you know, Ken made a statement and he said this. Oh, man, you know, it's a whole bunch of motherfuckers out in the street snitching. You know what I'm saying? All these motherfuckers in the street, you know what I'm saying, is snitching. You know, everybody done told something. Every hustler, every gang, all these niggas done said something. Everybody done told something. And this is what I mean when that emotionalism begins to eradicate your wisdom. Because everybody and anybody that has ever heard him speak knows that he's actually sharper than that statement. But because of the emotionalism that he's feeling at that time right now, he's just talking. He's just making statements.
Them emotions, man, a lot of times them emotions could be worse than drugs. It could be a mind-altering substance within itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you're intoxicated by emotions like you would be alcohol or cocaine or something, you know, it's like an out-of-body experience. You start doing shit that you wouldn't normally do.
Right.
And saying shit that you wouldn't normally say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because everybody out here in the streets is not snitching. That's a bold-faced lie. You know what I'm saying? First of all, logically that doesn't make sense because you don't even know everybody in the streets. So if I've never met the whole population in the location of the streets, that's not a logical statement for me to say that everybody that's in the streets has told something. Everybody in the streets is snitching. I ain't never even met everybody in the streets. So how the hell can I say that everybody is in the streets? Everybody in the streets is snitching when I ain't even met everybody. So that's contrary to logical thinking. That's nothing but emotionalism. And another thing that he said,
that's kind of like when them renegades be saying all pimps ain't shit.
Right. Now,
like, bitch, did you pay every pimp?
Right, exactly. How would you know? So you gonna judge the whole population off the bad representation that you've had an encounter with, to say that everybody snitch just because you've been around a whole bunch of clowns and motherfucking male actresses and shit, you understand me, that knew how to make bullshit look good? No, you can't say that everybody, you understand me, is snitching. I've never snitched in my whole motherfucking life. Never.
Right.
Never. I've never. Simple to P has never snitched in his motherfucking life. Ever. And now, if I get into it with one of these computer geek nerd motherfuckers and they decide to sit up there and put words together and you motherfuckers just be feeble-minded enough, you understand me, to believe this shit, then fuck it. Plus, the reason why I don't really get emotionally involved, because people gonna say all of this and do all that, but then when they see you in the streets, they're not gonna say or do nothing.
Right.
You're not gonna say or do nothing.
I've experienced that myself more than once.
all of this street talk.
Docile as a lamb.
Yeah, man. All of this street talk, all of this gangster talk, and then when you meet the motherfuckers, niggas' voice is similar to Michelle and. You know what I mean? Like, what was all of that Tookie Williams shit you was saying on the internet? These niggas are not about that. These are some well-mannered, nice young men. They are not about that whatsoever motherfucking ever. They're not about that. You know what I mean?
Like, speaking of what Ken said about everybody snitching, which is, we all know that's contrary to the truth. But before that, he was speaking to Keisha, you know, telling her not to hate on people who caught a case, which I can understand that, but then he carried on to say not to hate on people because they ran their mouth to law enforcement or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, he